Zandvoort preview.
Yes.
Second half of the season about to kick off this weekend. Had a bit of rain at a lot of Grand Prix recently, I was realising. Had some rain in Austria, if you remember. We had the sprint race there that was washed out. Obviously, Belgium, we had some rain about there. Briefly in the British Grand Prix as well. So quite a lot of rain about. And that does look like it might well continue. There's a 40% chance that we will see rain on the race on Sunday. So, question is, Sam, who do you think would like that 40% to come through? Who do you think is praying that actually the rain does happen?
I think you can round this off as anyone that desperately needs mistakes to happen, right?
Anyone who's not Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen, who is a bit of a rainmeister. I can imagine he's still sat there going, please, I don't want it to be any more difficult than it needs to be. Just let me go from first every single lap.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, I'll start last, mate. I'll still do it in the rain or blizzard with the car upside down, putting no problems for him.
From jail.
Well, he might be there soon.
Oh, there we are.
He might be there soon. Honestly, I think someone like Lewis Hamilton would absolutely love a bit of a rain-infected race. Maybe he's starting from 4th or 5th and it comes at the right time with a pit stop. And we know what he's like in the rain on his good days. Absolutely fantastic. I imagine both Mercedes drivers actually wouldn't mind a sprinkle of rain. George Russell needs a good result. He needs some points to be picked up. He needs a bit of a flurry to come his way. And I imagine that someone like Carlos Sainz actually wouldn't mind a little sprinkle. He's got the rally gene, isn't he? He's rather good at...
Is that how it works?
Yeah, that is how it works.
Only pole position was in the rain.
There you go. That's a great little stat, man.
Nice one, Harry.
Yeah.
Any stat, man.
You're very complimentary of my style of talking. I just waffle and you just pounding with the facts.
What? Blimey.
I also think that the Aston guys are going to have a little bit of rain. Lance Stroll obviously does quite well, picked up his pole position at Turkey in the rain.
He's going to be a tennis player.
Is he really?
Have you seen that rumour today?
No.
Sorry, it's really off topic. It's. I don't think it's got any basis, but there's a rumour that he's considering retiring and going to be a tennis player instead.
If I speak, I am in trouble. So I'm not going to talk. His risks are already gone, though.
Come on.
So, yeah, I mean, Fernando also loves a little bit of the moisture on the circuit. So, it's spread up and down the field, but I imagine that Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez are praying to the Sun Lords of Europe, please, no moisture.
I think Perez is as well.
Yeah, I don't think Sergio particularly likes wet weather racing. He isn't. I take it back. Singapore was pretty good.
It's very true.
He was quite good there.
He won.
But that feels like a bit of a one-off situation. It's not like he's renowned for his wet weather driving, cutting through the field, making the car stand out where it shouldn't. Historically, it is Verstappen who is better in the rain, but then historically, it is Verstappen who is better in the insert whatever you like prison cell.
Just better.
Yes.
What do you reckon, Harry? Who do you think is looking at the weather forecast and thinking, maybe that 40%, I wouldn't mind that a bit higher?
I mean, agree with Sam in that I think anyone that's not Max Verstappen, I even would throw Checo in there as well, because at the moment he's not beating him in dry conditions, so a bit of jeopardy can only be a good thing for Perez. But in particular, I think one is Hamilton, and I had sort of forgot this last year. Mercedes/Hamilton were pretty good and actually were troubling Verstappen for the win
A
at
lot of people
Zandvoort.
think they could have won it.
Yeah, because there was that.
Russell was in the mix as well.
Yeah, they both were.
And then the safety car came out because they sent the Alpha Tauri back out.
Don't you start this.
I'm not saying they did it intentionally. I'm not on that train, but that is what happened. He came in with a problem.
Yeah.
They let him back out, immediately broke down again.
Yeah, no, that is factually, they are the facts.
Yes.
So
cheated.
That had.
Don't say we don't believe that.
That is that had escaped on my mind completely. So I guess even in the dry, they've got to be hoping for a good result this weekend. And if there's a bit of rain about, Hamilton and Russell have really got to think that
be clever with the strategy, go bold.
Yeah, they could. A bit of mixed conditions, they could really do something to trouble Red Bull and Verstappen. So them definitely. Again, Ferrari, you've already mentioned Sainz, but Chuckles, anything.
We're seeing upgrades as well for quite a few cars that aren't Red Bull as well, aren't we? I know Mercedes brings them. Aston have, I think, got it under control of what went wrong before the summer break when they said they put an upgrade on.
Taking them off again.
They went, that's not good.
That's not work.
Put that in the bin. Obviously, Macca are there now these days, Too many cars.
Too
many cars, too many cars.
You just want one at the front.
I would just like a completely dominant season when no one challenges. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
That's a lot of excitement.
It's 2023.
It's a recipe for success.
So, in answer to your question, Ben, I think anyone, but I would have to say I think Mercedes, in particular, will be doing some rain dances this weekend because I think they could probably fancy their chances.
I'm looking at Fernando Alonso. I don't think he'd mind some rain. Now, you could say that based on how well they went at Monaco, which ironically, again, was poor weather, that Zandvoort might well be a good circuit for Aston Martin. I think they're probably hoping that this is one of the better circuits they've had so far this year. So you could argue maybe they don't want it wet because of that. But Fernando Alonso is Fernando Alonso. And I think he wouldn't mind something a little bit different just to see if that can give him an edge. Certainly, he could use a podium and a good finish. If you look at the first 6 races of the season, Fernando Alonso had 5 podiums. If you look at the last 6 races, Fernando Alonso had 1 podium. So there is very much a need for him to get back inside the top 3. And who knows, maybe a bit of wet weather could be the reason there. And as mentioned, there is that Monaco comparison in that overtakes are very difficult to pull off at Zandvoort. Realistically, when we get to the Grand Prix on Sunday, regardless of whether it's dry or wet, 3/4 of overtakes are probably going to happen at turn 1, right? And there aren't too many other opportunities around the lap to pick out. There are some half opportunities here and there, but generally speaking, most overtakes happen at turn 1. So I imagine if Fernando Alonso can qualify well in the dry on Saturday, it's going to be very, very difficult to overtake him in the wet on Sunday because despite wet weather races sometimes bringing chaos, overtakes are more difficult in the wet. You don't see many overtakes when it is raining. So I think if Fernando Alonso can do his normal brilliant car placement coming out of the final couple of corners of the lap, make sure he doesn't get overtaken into turn 1, he can do what he's already done at this circuit before, which is just hold up everyone else, but do it really comfortably. It's almost like, you know how in Hungary at turn 1, he and other drivers as well, but he has often been very good at turn 1 where he's at risk of being overtaken, but he'll just stay off the throttle for a second longer than you think he should just to completely quash the momentum of the driver who's behind and prevent himself from getting overtaken. I can just see him pulling something off very similar coming out of the final couple of corners at Zandvoort. And staying ahead as a result of that. So I think Alonso might be wishing for rain.
As ever, a total nuisance.
A total and utter nuisance.
We brought up bees, but he is a bit like a bumblebee around the picnic, isn't he? You don't want to hurt it, but you're just like, can you go away, please? Like, well, I've got other things to do. You've got other things to do. Please go away.
That's fair.
I mean, ironically, he is in a former bumblebee.
Hey.
Very good. Historic reference.
Jordan reference there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done.
Put it together, yeah.
It's actually
Great.
a hornet.
Bzz.
That's had too many mentions already.
Good. Yeah, so overall, I don't disagree with your Mercedes mention either, in that I think everyone who isn't Max Verstappen might well look at this weekend and think, yeah, a bit of rain will be all right. But one team that wasn't really mentioned, I know Carlos Sainz was mentioned as an individual, but we haven't spoken too much on Ferrari specifically. They were the closest competition for Mercedes. For Mercedes? God, this isn't 2015. Oh. They were the closest competition for Red Bull. Belgium. Sam, do you think that will continue here?
I don't. I'm not going to lie. I don't think the car suits the track. I think they really benefit from the first and third sector when it comes to Red Bull. And that, when it comes to Red Bull, no, I can't speak now because you bloody jinxed me. When it comes to Spa.
When it comes to Williams.
When it comes to shutting up. When it comes to Spa, because, you know, Ferrari's top speed this year, pretty good. But they're not great through the very slow sectors. You look at their record around the likes of Hungary, around the likes of Monaco, it's not been their best performances when it comes to these slower, more aerodynamically focused areas. And they weren't particularly fast in the second sector of Belgium, unlike the likes of McLaren. You look at how quick bloody Oscar Piastri was flying through that second sector. Man was 4 seconds up at one point. I mean, it's quite literally ridiculous.
I forgot that was his sector.
He was incredible. And, you know, that strikes fear into the the hearts and souls of Ferrari fans that they might be jumped again by yet another team. So I actually don't think it's going to benefit them. I think they might struggle, and I think they're hoping for rain because that causes a little bit of carnage, a little bit of, jeopardy, as you've already mentioned, Harry, for those up ahead. The problem for Ferrari is they regularly are the ones that find themselves in jeopardy, brought on by themselves, regardless of any other scenario that's going on.
Did you see the post from F1 the other day, and it was a video of their pit stop last year versus Red Bull, and he's in the pits for his poor side is in the pits for so long.
He's still there. The car's still in the pit lane.
Yeah, and that was in dry conditions.
Yeah, so wait for it in the way. I mean, I just things are slipping away a little bit, and I'm hoping that Freddie Vass has kind of maybe drawn it back into them over the summer break, and they might come out with a new lease of life. But I've been saying that Ferrari are going to come out with a new lease of life since 2008. So, it's quite hard to continue bigging them up at this point.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure not too long ago I complimented how well they've done pit stops and the like this year, so I'm pretty certain something will go wrong this weekend, as that's the way the world works. Harry, do you think that they might be closer to the bottom end of the points than the podium positions? How do you see that going?
I wouldn't say bottom end of the points, but I don't feel like they're going to be in the same position that they were in Belgium. I just don't think this track is quite as well suited to them as Spa was, and as we've already said, if there's inclement weather, then that just gives them more opportunity to mess things up. But yeah, I just think pace. I've already said I think Mercedes are going to be up there. Again, Aston Martin or at least Alonso could well be up there, and I'm just not quite sure whether Ferrari will have that pace. Their pace this year has been very up and down. Not consistent whatsoever. So.
Very expensive yo-yo.
Very expensive yo-yo. And I guess I'm basing it off they've been good at circuits when there's like a lot of strengths.
Yeah. They got bloody love Monza.
But then they were awful at Jeddah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the thing is, I don't think it's even that. So it's quite hard to base or to place them in the pack in terms of what their pace is. Because
they were really good at Austria, though.
They were... Where did they come at Austria?
Sainz was fourth and Leclerc was third.
Yeah, they were good at Austria.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So hard.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be as strong, but like I say, they're a mystery. They're an enigma.
You're absolutely right. I was going to pretty much say exactly the same thing, in that you've got Red Bull, who have been consistently brilliant all year. You've got McLaren, who were terrible to start, but then have just been brilliant the last few races. Aston Martin, something of the opposite, in that they were great at the start of the year and not quite so great now. Mercedes have been pretty consistent all year, not too much has changed. And Ferrari are the one outlier in terms of the top teams, in that it's just, you can't predict where they're going to be every weekend. Because I would tend to think, Sam, you're right. I think where you think they will be is where I think they will be. Could they have two cars on the podium? Yes. Quite possibly. Like, you just cannot tell with them. So do they want rain? Do they not want rain? I mean, rain just gives them another opportunity for something to go wrong, so maybe not. But yeah, really tough to judge. Need some bold predictions. It's been a while. Ooh. Question is, does that make these even bolder or not? We'll find out. Harry, what have you got?
I'm going for Verstappen ain't winning.
Oh, I remember I did that one.
I know, it didn't work that time.
Didn't work.
No, so I'm doubling down on your prediction.
I'll take one out my list that I was going to throw back in there.
It's
a good one.
In front of his home fans. The thing is, we've not had it yet. He's won both Dutch Grand Prix so far in the modern era.
Yeah, this is
what
good.
will happen? Yes. Thank you. Sam from the Netherlands there. What will happen? I just can't really imagine what it'll be like.
It won't rain until all the Dutch fans cry.
Oh, savage.
Man.
Then it will be puddles. It will be a deluge of salty tears.
Yep. Great. So anyway, this is it. He's not going to win for the first time since Baku.
Baku?
No.
Oh, well, I guess it's... Well, you mean the sprint race? Oh, sorry. I'm talking about the team. Yeah. Baku, yeah.
Yeah, not Red Bull. Verstappen.
Yeah. I'm with you, yeah.
Falling apart, this podcast.
That's a long time ago, isn't it, when you think about it?
It's quite a while ago.
It was 3.
Not too bad, is it? my bold prediction. You know who could really use a good result?
George Russell.
I mean, sure, but I'm going to
Kevin
go with
Magnussen.
Alpine.
Oh,
Alpine could
yeah,
really do with a
Leplan.
good result, because if you haven't noticed, things haven't been going very well for Alpine. I'm not certain. I might be in charge of Alpine this weekend.
it's hard to know.
Who knows? Someone's got to do it.
Who is doing it this weekend?
Benjamin.
Oh,
Yep, it is actually me.
Yeah.
okay. Benjamin Ocking.
Yeah.
So they could really use a result. And my bold prediction is they're going to get one, because this, not the beginning of the season, this is the start of Le Plan.
Oh, bugger off with it.
You know, the bottom of LeBlanc in little small print said, starts in Zandvoort.
This is Otmar's race 40.
You know when absolute nutters predict the end of the world and they're like, oh no, we misread this. Actually, it's this date. This is what I'm doing right now. It wasn't the start of this season that Le Plan starts. It's the start of the second half of the season. So Esteban
Otmar's
Ocon
using the Mayan calendar.
is using the Alpine calendar. Top 4 for Esteban Ocon.
Oh, my sweet lord.
My sweet baby Jesus. There is Jesus and Chili's tonight.
Adding any more spice, Sam? What have you got?
Oscar Piastri's first podium.
It's not a bad lineup of bold predictions, boys.
We're back
Right.
from the summer break, baby.
Oh, yeah, we've been storing them up.
Yeah, I felt it bubbling, you know.
Oh, he'd be bubbling.
Like a kettle. He'd be bubbling. I'm boiling. Take me off the hob.
Pole 1, 2, 3, Sam.
Pole Verstappen, Wing Verstappen, second place Piastri, third place Hamilton.
So not even a podium, predicting a top 2 finish.
Well, you know, mix it up. It's not going to be right.
Fair enough. Pole position, Max Verstappen. First place, Max Verstappen. Second place, Sergio Perez. Third place, Fernando Alonso. Harry.
Verstappen on pole. Lewis Hamilton for the win.
Oh, it's so spicy.
Verstappen will be second, and Perez will be third.
Love it. Well, between our predictions, that's a lot of wrong in there. But you have to tune into the review podcast to see how we got on with those. Okay, with the return of a race weekend, it's the return of Under Pressure, where the 3 of us will pick out one driver, one team, one individual, whoever or whatever we want to choose, and say that they are under pressure and why. And then, of course, we will hand over to some of our Discord submissions. Thank you very much to everyone who submitted on this return to racing. And we'll play some of those out. So, Sam, do you want to kick us off?
I've genuinely missed the Discord submissions.
Me too.
All of summer we don't get them. I really missed them. I'm quite excited to hear them, and we don't get live again. We haven't.
This is what we do now.
I'm very excited to hear what they are.
What we do.
Anyway, my Under Pressure is the Zandvoort racetrack. A lot of time, effort, and money was put into kind of repurpose this circuit. It was, to make it Formula One ready, and this is the 3rd season now. And I genuinely don't think that the racing has been fantastic at either year that we've been there. Of course, we've been there for 2 different regulation types. Obviously, we had 2021 with the hybrid era cars in their final season, and then we were 2022 where we had the new regulation cars. And I argue that while it was a slightly better race in 2022, it still wasn't thrilling, and I think it really needs to pull it out the bag here in 2023. Otherwise, in my opinion, it stays on the calendar only while Max Verstappen stays on the calendar. And it's much like when we had the European Grand Prix.
And Max Verstappen stays on the calendar.
He is a race now. He will win. It's much like when we had the European Grand Prix. When Fernando Alonso won it twice, we had Valencia. When Schumacher was very successful, we obviously went to the Nürburgring or Hockenheim, and we had the European Grand Prix. So, these things used to be more regular, and I think the only reason we have this track in the Netherlands is because of Verstappen. So I think it can lose credibility if it's another poor race here.
Harry, your submission.
Georgie Russ.
Fair.
Just needs a solid, clean weekend, good quali, good race, bish bash bosh. Move on.
And some real good nosh.
Bish bash bosh, real good.
Do you want to hear an interesting story about George Russell
Oh, God.
over the summer break? Do you know our lovely friend Beef?
Yeah.
What's she done?
What's she done?
What's she done?
So she has ex-boyfriend Beef has text
It's George Russell.
boyfriend boyfriend Beef. It's not ex-boyfriend Beef is text Beef.
Are you allowed to tell this?
I asked specifically, am I allowed to tell this story in the podcast? And she said yes. And apparently, George Russell's family know ex-boyfriend Beef's family well because they are incredibly passionate and understanding of what Land Rovers are. And George Russell wants to buy a Land Rover, so he spent a lot of time talking to ex-boyfriend Beef's dad about Land Rovers over summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so believable it hurts.
It's a really random story.
Crikey, that's a nice Land
That's
Rover.
an insight that no one else is going to get.
Hey,
That's a scoop.
that is a scoop.
Breaking
What are
news.
the wipers like for when it's spitting?
Well, I'm sweaty. Can I deal with it?
You got aircon in this.
I need it, mate. Dripping all over the leather.
Oh, crikey.
So he needs a result at Zandvoort, otherwise he could be finding himself driving for Land Rover next season. Okay.
That's worse, kids.
My under pressure is Logan Sargent, who I appreciate has got quite a lot of mentions throughout the season on this, but I think now, I'm not saying this is right, I'm not saying this is fair, but I do think this is how it is. There's always one driver on the grid that gets more attention than anyone else in terms of keeping their seat. That driver was Nick De Vries for the first half of this season. He's no longer there, in which case I think filling in that void will be Logan Sargent. Now, I know Williams have said they are happy, and at the same time, they also need to start seeing some results. So I think they have basically told him, okay, the grace period is starting to come to an end. We need to start to see some results now. And I don't even think it needs to be anything out of this world at this point. It just needs to, even if it's not points, just consistent 11th and 12ths would actually be a pretty good step in the right direction, I think. So I think he can start that this weekend.
Do you think Logan Sargent is absolutely fuming that Crash Bandicoot's not in the car anymore?
Nick De Vries?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, why?
Crash.
Oh, God.
Sure.
Right? It's very
Just
simple.
Nick De Vries. Wow!
Falling down the little cavern into the TNT box. Wow! He needs one of their masks that he puts on.
I was
Discord
struggling
submissions,
for a moment
Ben?
there.
Do we reckon?
Discord submissions.
Jesus. Right. You lovely lot. Welcome back. Who have we got first? All good, always.
Highly breaking. Wow, this summer break feels like an eternity, but we're finally back to racing, which is so exciting. Under pressure, got to be Carlos Sainz. I mean, the guy hasn't outperformed his teammates since Canada, so that statistic speaks for itself. Anyway, very excited for this weekend. Love you guys. Love the podcast. Bye.
Always
That's
so
a-
joyful.
Oh,
It's a good start, that.
It's a great stat.
Not since Canada.
Stack submission.
Next up, Kibler and Bits.
Kibble and biscuits.
Oh, sorry.
What's up, late breakers? Kibler and Bits here, and my under pressure for this
Great
coming
quality.
race weekend is literally everyone. Because if Red Bull comes out the blocks from this summer break and looks like they're going to win every single race this season, I think that I might cry. We need some diversity up on that podium, so fingers are crossed. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.
You know when people go and get their ears cleaned out and they get like honey dripped in their ears, and it's like apparently that is what I imagine it. That audio quality was so good.
Smooth talker.
We don't want crying kibbles.
No, true. This one worries me. It's from Scruffy, and it says first and probably last submission, lol.
It's 47 seconds long too, Scruffy.
Oh,
That's
Scruffy.
too long, sunshine.
Here we go.
What's up, late breakers? It's Scruffy in the
quality.
sweaty South, coming to you with my under pressure for this week. Honestly, it has to be Formula One who is under pressure. These long breaks in the middle of the season are killing me. Luckily, Retro Coffin's been posting all kinds of IndyCar, GT racing, Formula Drift. There's all kinds of stuff in that other series channel that I've thoroughly been enjoying, watching great racing, battles for the lead, which is something that we're not used to this year. I'm looking forward to getting back to a Formula One race, but honestly, guys, do better.
Also
That's it.
F1.
Maybe both.
Both. Just generally, just guys everywhere. Do better.
Shout out to Retro Coffin as well.
Yeah.
Our Discord.
Long
There you
term.
go.
Beyond plugging the Discord, we're now plugging individual channels in the Discord. Love it.
Okay, next up, Twyla24. Did I say it right? Twyla, yeah. Which says, "See you in Texas."
Woo!
Oh yeah.
We'll see you in Texas.
Well, we will see you, Twyla. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Twyla from North Carolina. I just wanted to say how excited I am to be seeing you in Texas. I can't believe it. My driver under pressure is actually Lando Norris. He's got this rookie who's capturing everyone's hearts with his deadpan expression and his Instagram mom who's starting to out-qualify and I think could outrace him if the team management went that way. Not a good look for Lando if he loses the second half. Bye.
That's a quality submission, that.
Yeah.
Good.
Oscar Piastri could have like a meteorite lying next to him. Just go, yeah, not a lot of room.
Could have left me a bit of room there, Meteor.
God, yeah. Anyway, next up, a big ham.
Great name.
Hey boys, it's a big ham. Under pressure this week is honestly my own mental health and can F1 revive it because the summer break was crazy. Also AlphaTauri.
I appreciate that.
Also, sorry.
That's great.
Also, buggers.
Bungers.
It
Bungers.
failed last time, didn't it?
No.
Bungers winging a chat, mate.
Oh no! It's even playing, but nothing's coming out. All right, sorry, bungers. McLaren's CEO.
Maybe he got fired.
Well, okay. Safe Leclerc is next.
He needs it.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to save Charles Leclerc from Ferrari prison with my under pressure
God bless.
submission for this week. For me, under pressure this week is Carlos Sainz, since he just ran Oscar Piastri off the road last race. I feel like he could really do with a good result. Love you all. Bye.
You imagine Carlos Sainz was next to Piastri and just went, bring on the wall!
Anton do signs.
Hey, go with the OG, Dale Winton.
Dale
Yeah,
Winton.
Dale Winton, the king.
Yeah, R.I.P. Right, next one. Carson LGG.
Hey, late breaking. It's Carson here. I think the most under pressure would be Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo because only one of them can come out on top at AlphaTauri. Yep, that's it. Keep breaking late except for Valtteri Bottas.
Oh, the burn.
Oh, you need to slow down. That was the first timey.
Yes, it was. New to the Discord
Good
as well.
submission.
Sebalicious. Thank God we're not at Spa-Francorchamps.
Frankenchomps.
Frankenchops.
I watched that the other day.
So good.
Still creasing it.
My under pressure this weekend
Seb, it's the worst quality in the world,
is
mate.
the criminal Max Verstappen. Is he going to even turn up? Are the Dutch officials going to arrest him there on the spot? We'll never know. But
Why?
if he does
We
get in
will
that
know.
car, then I don't think he's won a race in the last, month?
Yeah,
He's got to start delivering soon.
that's fair.
Great shout from
It's a
Seb.
great shout. That's
Terrible quality, but thank you.
Our kind of humour.
That is bad.
Yeah. Surprised we didn't say that.
Ryan, who said frankly been too nervous to submit. Don't be nervous,
You're
Ryan.
welcome here, Ryan.
Here we go.
Hello, late breaking lads. I'm Ryan, first time submitter, long time listener. Currently sitting second in the fantasy league for the late breaking podcast. behind
Go on,
Sam.
mate.
Humble brag.
Sam, I will overtake you in the coming weeks. You better watch out. My under pressure for the Dutch Grand Prix is Logan Sargent. I think he needs to score points soon, or else his seat will come into question. There are other people like Mick Schumacher, I think, that will take that seat if he doesn't perform soon. Yeah, take care.
I'm going to ignore entirely his F1 related stuff and just allow me to say that I am leading the football fantasy league.
Oh, I thought you meant the F1 one.
Nah, screw that. I don't care about that anymore.
All right. Who's in your team?
I'm not going to run through that.
Okay. Next, Brown 30.
Hey guys, Brown 30 with submission number 3.
No,
Under pressure this week, Lance Stroll.
Lant.
Hasn't had a very strong first half of the season. Don't expect the second half to be that much better. And if it doesn't really work out this season, he can always just fall back on his tennis career. Wait.
Rally in the car.
Anyway, congratulations on your Sala Fakota. Woo! Join the Discord.
Thank you.
What happened to the other 29 Browns?
Well, we'll never know. That we will never
Can't
know.
go around asking these questions.
Also, I've just noticed Brown 30's picture is an LS cap, and I'm assuming that must mean Logan Sargent.
Or Lance Stroll.
Oh, yeah, but he said he was under pressure. Joys that kill.
Joy here. Under pressure has to go to Harry Eid, the one and only LB boy that holds the other two dorks together. Please be in Sunday's podcast.
I'll try, Joy.
You are the glue.
Yeah, you two dogs.
Me and Bang are the bread, and you're the filling.
Cheers, Joy. I appreciate that.
Really underwhelming ham.
Yeah.
Gammon. You are the gammon in our sandwich.
Cheers.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
She's back.
It's ball pit beef.
Why is she ball pit beef?
So she went to a brunch, a get drunk brunch, one of those boozy
bottomless.
brunch. Yeah, you know what the ladies are like. They love a bottomless
Boozy
brunch.
Did she go to Baldy Balderson?
She went to Baldy Balderson.
Whee.
And she got lost in the balls.
Wow.
Boozy, brunchy, bally, some beef.
Baldy Balderson beef.
Right.
Right.
Can I just say?
Yes.
A rapid fire life update, 34 seconds.
Not even.
Come on.
Not
Right.
even under 30 seconds.
Here we go.
Hello, written a list to give you a quick live
A
update.
list?
Number one, I did a surprise for boyfriend B for his birthday. He loved it. Number two, my plants are thriving. Number three, I did good in my essay. Number four, I won at bowling with the barriers down. Number five, I bought stuff off Depop. It's very nice. Number six, I went to another bottomless brunch. And number seven, I'm not doing very well in my football fantasy. Under pressure this week is simply me to watch the race. Missed you all. Glad to be back. Okay, bye.
It's like your drunk auntie or something, isn't it?
So much there.
Yeah.
Barrierless beef.
But yeah, I mean, bottomless, bowling barrierless beef.
Bowling beef. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, what was the surprise?
Yeah.
You
I can't
can't
believe-
just say there was a surprise.
Left that out.
She changed her name on Discord. That was a surprise.
Bad at fantasy beef.
That doesn't work.
Doesn't work at all.
Ah, blimey.
Oh,
Well,
it's good to have you all back.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. That was a good return.
We've missed it very much.